Today I'm going to deliver a poem from the book called Behave, which is of Standard 9. Now, the name of the poem is A Legend of Northland. This poem is written by Phoebe Carey, and this poem is basically a ballad. Now, everyone must be knowing that what ballad is. A ballad is a song narrating a story in short stanza. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to next. A Legend of Northland is also a ballad. Now here we'll see that the poem narrates a legend of an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. Now, my dear students, you all know that greed leads to destruction. If you are greedy, definitely it will lead you to destruction, because day after day, your greed will go on increasing. Now, let me tell you this poem in a short story, converting the poem into a story. Now, away, far away in Northland, and where, particularly in that place, where the hours of the days were very few and the nights were very long in winter, and they cannot sleep through and throughout. Now, their harness was by the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snowed, and the children just looked like bear cubs, all wearing the fur garments and very funny with furry clothes. Now, they wanted to listen to a story. Okay. Now, they were very curious about the storytelling, and this story is narrated by a third person. So, and I believe that this is a true story, and you get to learn a lesson from this story. Now, once there was a good saint. His name was Saint Peter, and he lived in the world which was beyond the old imagination, beyond all material things. He was not attached or attracted to any material, as the saints live their life. Now, they have to walk in door to door, house to house for preaching. And what he did, he just went to a village and he was this way preaching house to house, door to door, and he just came and stopped near a door, near a cottage of a door, and he was traveling the entire earth, and he was totally tired as well as hungry. When he reached the door and knocked the door, a little woman opened the door, and he was making what? Do you know? A delicious cake. And the smell of the cakes, all of you know how it tempts everyone to gulp in one go. And she was making them in a hearth. Now, as the saint was fasting for almost the entire day was gone and he was fasting, he asked from that little woman a piece of cake to give him one single cake which she was baking. Now, she made a very little, or you can say very small cake, but was baking lay, and she thought that if I give away the cake, and it seems to her that she was baking a very large cake. Now, what happened? She didn't want to give the cake. She needed another dough and started baking it. After it was baked, she just compared, and she found that this cake was much more bigger than the other one, but although it was not bigger, it was smaller than that. Okay, because the dough which she needed was there in front of her, and she has taken one pinch of dough from that kneaded one and she made it a cake. Now she said that if I give this cake away, what will I eat? Again she took one pinch and she started rolling, which was much more smaller than the previous one, and it was very thin. Okay, here you can see that the saint was waiting outside and he was hungry. He was waiting for the cake, but he couldn't get it, and she kept him awaiting, saying that she will make the cake and give it to him. Now the good saint started getting angry. Okay, and he was about to faint out of hunger, and the smell which came from the cake was enough to provoke the saint's hunger. Now, what he did, he got very furious and he said that you are very selfish woman and you are not fit to dwell in this earth in a human form. You are getting both food and shelter, mind my word, you are getting both food and shelter which you are not capable of. So I curse you that you will become a bird and you will roam around collecting foods, and you can get only a pinch of food in your beak, and that will be enough food for you. Now today also the people of Northland believe that this woman was cursed. And how she was cursed? She was cursed by Saint Peter, saying that you are far too selfish to be a human form, be in a human form, and to have both food and shelter and the fire which will keep you warm. And you shall be a bird who will get only a scanty food and boring the entire day in the dry hard wood, getting no food. And what they saw, the people saw that suddenly the woman vanishes and she comes out through the chimney, speaking not a word, and top from the chimney it flies away as in a form of a woodpecker. And the scarlet which was worn on the woman's head was red in color. Now you can find that there is a scarlet in the neck of the woodpecker. And every country schoolboy of that particular place has seen her in the wood, dwelling and boring the whole day, searching for food but getting none, and only a scanty amount for food which she got, she could fill her belly. Now here what you want to see, that the poet gives a social message by saying that too much of greed leads to destruction. As the woman was very greedy, didn't want to give her share, not only her share, but what she made, she felt that it was enough to give to a person, had led her to destruction today. And my dear students, please learn to give, share and love. Thank you.